Good evening, guys, gals. Out in the shop tonight, thought I would smoke a cigar. It's just one of those kind of nights. I'm sure you understand. Having a little bottle of water tonight. So let me tell you a little about the cigar that I'm smoking. That may mean something to you guys. I'm unfamiliar. I've heard of Partagas. I've probably had some of their cigars in the past. It came in this neat little coffin. I thought that was pretty cool. My dog thought it was really cool. But here's what we're going with. This is a Partagas 10-year, 10 decades, whatever this means. I know this is going to be a premium one because I've got a very good friend who keeps me in quality sticks, let's say. Move some stuff out of the way here. I'm trying to get things done. I got a bunch of stuff in the way. I'm rolling denim on denim today because it's Saturday. If you don't have a good cutter, get yourselves a good cutter. This is a Cuban Crafters. I don't even know if you can buy these anymore. It's got the little backstop on the back. It does a good job. Let's see. Oh yeah. Briefly, I mislocated my torch here, but alas, I have found it. I like to give the foot a little roast. You guys probably do the same or similar. Everybody's got their little method. I have pretty decent success with this. Oh man, this thing smells good already. So, from time to time I look for YouTubers, from the past that, used to do maybe like pipe videos, cigar videos, what have you. And one of my favorites of all time was Louisiana Pipe Guy 1965. And I don't know much about him. I think he owned a restaurant and a catering business. He talked about that a lot. I think he used to like to enjoy a cigar in the evening just to relax, after a day of, working in the restaurant business is tough. Even on good days, it's tough. And I think he used to enjoy a cigar and a pipe after work. He was a really good storyteller, though. So I got to wondering what happened to him. I went online and did a little bit of poking around. I couldn't remember his whole name. It was the 1965 that was kind of throwing me off. I couldn't remember exactly what year it was. And I found him. And his last video was about 7 or 8 years ago. And there were some comments, more recent comments, just sort of checking in. And his son had replied and said that he had passed away in 2019. And I'm going to tell you, I was saddened by that. I didn't know him personally. He was from the South. I always liked the way he talked. If you don't smoke these, they're not going to smoke themselves. So far, so good. It's got a tight draw, but that's all right. So yeah, sure enough, he had passed away. I did leave his son a message telling him, just that. I really enjoyed his dad's online presence, and I hated to hear the news because he just seemed like a genuinely good old guy. He wasn't much older than me, I don't believe. Maybe in his late 50s, something like that. That's what it seemed like. I don't know. But he told this story one time about I believe it was what his dad did for a living. And you should, if you haven't checked out his videos, it's Louisiana Pipe Guy 1965. I think it's all one word. A lot of his stuff was just vlog type stuff, but he told this story about what his dad used to do for a living. And down in the South, we have these, used to have these travel like a rest stop, kind of like a truck stop, but not for big rigs, and they were called Stuckies. And you could kind of get everything, like a little souvenir. You could get you a, like a snack, take a restroom break, that kind of thing. And they were on the highway, on the highway. Here in the South, they were all over. But that modern stores have kind of taken over. There's still a few Stuckies left. A lot of times they were coupled with a restaurant. This has got kind of a sweet character to it. It maybe like a little bit of chocolate or coffee. I like it. Anyway, he was talking about his dad building these Stuckies, and I'm telling his story. Really, what you should do is you should go watch the video. But for those of you that are interested, each Stuckies was one of a few different types, that they would build depending on the layout they wanted. And his dad, I reckon, built them from start to finish. They were usually made of cinder blocks, just a block building, and they had gas pumps out front and all that, normal type stuff. But I just thought that was really interesting because you hear things about your locality that maybe you've always wondered who built Stuckies. Yeah, well, we know now. He said that whenever he was traveling and stuff, he would stop at the Stuckies and walk around, and he could kind of tell there was a few characteristics that he could identify that would sort of tell him if his dad had built that one. And I thought that was particularly cool. It's always neat to be able to find a little witness mark about what your, it's kind of like a little bit archaeological, I guess. Maybe it was what tools he used. I don't know. But if you're like me and you go down YouTube rabbit holes all the time, I highly recommend that one. I'm going to pause this video. I'm going to see if I can get about an inch into this and kind of report back. So far, so good. It's just a really good, I don't know if I'd call it a full-bodied cigar, but it's definitely got a body to it, So let me pause this video and we'll come back. I'm not much at reviewing, but if you've tuned in, tune in. Hey guys, just unpause the video, so it may have done like a little jagged break there. So I'm about 1 inch into this stick, and maybe a little further. I accidentally flicked the ash. That was my fault. Otherwise, it'd probably still be attached. And we've definitely gone from like a cocoa type coffee flavor, which was the initial flavor, to it's really more moved into a spice note now. Maybe pepper, maybe spice. I have trouble distinguishing those two, although I do tend to prefer spiciness over pepper. Excellent stick though. This is a top 10 of all time for sure. I don't smoke a lot of cigars, and I don't have a very refined palate, but I'm thoroughly enjoying this. So I told you guys about Louisiana Pipe Guy. I'm just kind of going down my list here. Don't know what you guys watch on TV. I've been watching MASH, the 70s and 80s sitcom, medical drama, medical comedy. If you've never watched MASH, it's excellent. Probably best show ever made. It really drags you in. You just get sucked into that world. I won't go into the details, but the final episode was a full-length 2-hour movie. Wow, who does that? But I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I would recommend it to anybody that enjoys, you know, really long, slow burn shows. You know, I don't think there could have been a Scrubs if there wasn't a MASH. I think that show really, it taught us how to do TV. I can't say enough good about it. I'm going to finish this cigar and finish this bottle of water, make it into a beer, but this video is 10 minutes long already. I know you guys love my rambles. I know you do, but I'm going to cut this off and appropriately, goodbye, farewell, and amen.